Welcome to Film Club. After a 2-and-a-bit-year break since Mando Season 2, The Mandalorian Season 3 has arrived. In this video, we review the first episode of Season 1, review the plot, characters, and rate the episode at the end. Then we will look at the early Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb scores for the season as a whole. Full spoilers ahead, so if you want to go into the episode blind, then perhaps come back later. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Plot. We kick off Season 3 with the Armourer making a Beskar helmet, as her clan is having an initiation ceremony for a foundling who has come of age to wear his Mandalorian helmet. The ceremony is interrupted by a big crocodile-like creature that attacks a group. After the Mandalorians do a rather poor job of fighting this giant creature, Mando and Grogu enter the fight with style in their new N1 class starship and shoot it down. An interesting note to take is that in Season 1 Episode 2, Mando fights a Mudhorn and defeats it. Season 2 Episode 1, Mando fights a Crate Dragon and destroys it, and now in Season 3 Episode 1, he destroys this crocodile creature. Mando lands his ship and talks to the Armourer. She reconfirms what she said in Episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, that as Mando took off his helmet, he is no longer part of the clan. Mando then flies to Navarro, which has improved drastically, even since Season 2 and certainly since Season 1. He meets High Magistrate Greef Karga, and Karga informs him that Cara Dune has been recruited by the New Republic Special Forces and is no longer Navarro's marshal. A group of pirates cause a kerfuffle outside the town school, and after a western standoff, Karga and Mando dispatch the pirates, leaving one to run back to the pirate king, Gorian Shard. Mando says to Karga that he wants to rebuild IG-11 to help him navigate Mandalore, but he needs to find parts to rebuild the droid. Mando and Grogu leave Navarro to hunt for a new memory circuit for IG. As they leave the planet, they are attacked by Gorian Shard's pirates. Mando escapes and arrives at the planet Kalevala, a planet in a Mandalorian system. On a planet inside a Mandalorian castle, he meets Bo-Katan. She reveals that she was abandoned by her night owls after she didn't retrieve the Darksaber from Moff Gideon at the end of Season 2. Mando tells her that he will go to Mandalore and find out whether the planet is hospitable or not, and the end credits roll. We visit 3 planets this episode, learning about Mandalorian culture, the state of Navarro, and Bo-Katan and her night owls. A lot of setup this episode that makes one excited for what's to come, but other than that, it doesn't deliver too much in terms of story. Plot, score 7 out of 10. Entertainment value. We see Mando and Grogu begin their new quest to return to Mandalore. Quite a lot of the episode, maybe a good 5 minutes or so, is recovering what happened to Mando in the Book of Boba Fett. The Armourer telling Mando again that he isn't part of the Watch anymore as he removed his helmet, as well as Mando explaining to Greef Karga that the child has returned back to him. This episode serves as a refresher to get us back into the Mando part of the galaxy. The giant crocodile fight was a little bit ropey on the CGI and fight choreography side of things, and the pirates, especially Star Wars' answer to Davy Jones, Gorian Shard, was a bit too childish for my liking. This, combined with Mando making a pun when a statue head falls onto IG, it veered into the PG family show feel. I'm interested to see how everyone views this episode, as to me, it's far behind the first episode of Season 1 and Season 2. Entertainment value scores 7 out of 10. Characters and performances. Din and Grogu are more of a father-son team than the protector and baby dynamic the pair had in Season 1 and 2. Grogu is no longer hidden behind Mando and is instead right beside him. Din is teaching Grogu about Mandalorian culture and passing on his knowledge on flying and pirates like a good space father should. As I said before, the pirates and Gorian Shard felt a bit comical to me, perhaps suiting the Book of Boba Fett more than the Mandalorian. Cara Dune's absence was mentioned by Greef Karga in this episode, which I'm sure many YouTube videos will be discussing over the next few days. She isn't killed off, which leaves a very small chance that Gina Carano could return, or that Cara Dune could be recast. Although I think that would be a rather unpopular decision if they chose to recast. Bo-Katan is an intriguing character, as she has been left by her night owls and seems lost as to what to do next. Going into Season 3, I thought that she would be at loggerheads with Mando and the Armourer this season, and perhaps she still will be, but first, she's got some work to do to sort herself out. Characters and performances score 8 out of 10. Visuals. As always, some lovely visuals, as Mando's ship flies into the view over a planet. The shot of the new hip and cool Navarro was lovely, and it's great to see the evolution of that town from Season 1 to Season 3. The scene with the Purgle whales that Grogu saw while they travelled through hyperspace was a really pensive and striking moment. For those that don't know, the Purrgil whales travel through hyperspace and will most certainly be featured in the Ahsoka show as she hunts for Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger. Thrawn and Ezra were transported somewhere unknown at the end of Rebels the animated show, which the Ahsoka series is rumoured to pretty much be carrying on from. The CGI crocodile fight wasn't perfect, but aside from that, as you would expect, the visuals were good. Visuals score 8 out of 10. Sound. The score was deeper and more reflective this episode compared to the upbeat tempo of the soundtrack in Season 1 and 2. It flows seamlessly from one theme to the next, as Mando flew from planet to planet and met different people along the way. A really good score. Sound scores 9 out of 10. Ending. We finish the episode with Mando heading off to find a new memory core for IG, and then presumably onto Mandalore to redeem himself for his sins of removing his helmet. Perhaps he will come across the Night Owls who left Bo-Katan, as Bo-Katan teased that they would follow him if he waved his darksaber about for them. I'm very excited for the season and accept that this setup has to take place, as we now have a wider collection of spread out characters and factions this season compared to 1 and 2. Ending scores 8 out of 10. Rating. Overall, the first episode of Season 3 received a rating of 78%. Episode comparison. When we compare the first episodes of Season 1 and 2, Season 3's is a step down. I'm not nervous at how the season will go though, as there are a lot of interesting plot points and characters to explore, so no need to panic yet. A comfy episode that makes you think, it's good to be back with Mando and Grogu. I can't wait to see what happens now. Series comparison. Just one episode in, Season 3 stands at 11th place, just above the Bad Batch Season 2. It's early doors, so don't take too much from its position now. Season 2 is second on the series leaderboard, and Season 1 is in 7th. Franchise comparison. Compared to other Star Wars shows, Season 3 is 5th, just below Season 1. My favourite Star Wars show so far is Andor, followed by Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and Tales of the Jedi in 3rd place. Who knows, perhaps Season 3 can disrupt this top 3. If I add Season 1, 2 and 3 together, my overall score for Mandalorian is at 84%. The Mandalorian over the first 3 seasons stands at 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb, and is at 93% on a tomato meter, and has a 92% audience score. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this episode, and what would you rate it? Tomorrow we will be reviewing episode 12 of The Bad Batch and Mando Season 3 every week. On a movie front, we've got Shazam 2 soon, as well as John Wick Chapter 4 and Dungeons & Dragons this month. So for more reviews like this, please consider subscribing to Film Club. See you again.